pods. The closest one was black, the other two were red and brown. Wait, how can he see color in a pitch-dark cave? It seems the compatibility reaches further than what I first assumed, Syrax said. You can see through my eyes. Right, said Master as he looked around in the cavern. The cold, dead granite of the cavern transformed into a vibrant, pulsing matrix of pure physics. The absolute blackness of the cave is replaced by a deep, background violet hum. The air itself is alive, filled with tiny, drifting points of static electricity. Heat blooms from his own breath that look like swirling nebulae. Woven through the stone and the air is a fine, shimmering grid of dark matter. It looks like a glowing spiderweb stretching across the entire cavern. It is beautiful, whispered Master. It is, said Syrax. I must confess, I have gotten used to it in our world, but the long sleep in the pod uncovered the beauty again. Can we focus on my siblings again? I want you to consume them as well. What? No, I do not want to go through that fever hell again. Relax, it will not be so bad this time. I will be here to welcome and direct them. Also, I am sensing that your energy is lowering by the hour. The placenta they are covered in will serve as an energy source for you, and we all want to get out of this mountain tomb, don't we? Yes, you are right. I want to get out of here. And I do not want to leave my family behind. Okay, let's do it. Master committed. He picked up the nearest pod, dusted the dirt off and held it, waiting for the warmth of his hands to start the incubation process. Sure enough, the first crack appeared and then the shell burst open. He quickly lifted the pod and drank the amber liquid. It tasted like compost and nutmeg. His stomach reacted, but this time it was not as intense. What was different was that his muscles started to ache. It felt like he had overexercised his whole body. A burning sensation spread to every microfiber in his body. He took deep breaths, centering himself. This too shall pass, he reminded himself. After some time, the burning ache subsided. Welcome, brother, he heard Syrax say. He opened his mind's eye. Now there were two translucent entities. Syrax, said the second entity. It is good to see you after such a long time. Where are we? The second entity asked. His gaze moved across the cavern with the quick, measuring sweep of someone counting threats. Then it landed on Master and stayed there. Vhagar, meet our host, Master Eitch, Syrax said. He is not my master. Vhagar's voice came out like a blade being drawn. No, his name is Master. His mother, who is a powerful energy protecting his soul, gave him this name. Syrax paused. I like her. Vhagar looked Master up and down with the unhurried confidence of someone who had assessed far more dangerous things. He looks fragile. I am standing right here, Master said. And fragile or not, without me, there is no way out of this cave for any of you. He held Vhagar's gaze for one steady moment, then turned and picked up the next pod. Master picked up the red pod, dusted it and held it. The cracks appeared until the top graciously slipped off. He drank the liquid. It tasted like rose and vanilla. His stomach did not complain this time. But his heart jumped. It started to beat rapidly, and swirling emotions of joy, love, anger, and fear rapidly passed through him. He felt drunk and disoriented and needed to sit down. The third pod's warmth hit him differently, not fever, not fire, but something that spread through his chest like the first morning after a long illness. When the presence formed in his mind's eye, it arrived the way sunlight arrives, gradually, then all at once. Syrax. Vhagar. The voice was rich and immediate, the kind that made a room feel smaller and warmer at the same time. How lovely to see you both safe and well. Then, without pause, but where is Orma? He'll be here in a minute, Master said, and not waiting for Syrax to take charge, he stepped forward. Hi. I am Master, your host. She turned her attention to him fully, the way very few people ever do. It was not just eye contact. It was focused, complete, unhurried, genuinely interested. I'm clear, A pause, and then something warm and curious moved across her face. You introduced yourself. None of our previous hosts ever did that. She tilted her head slightly. You are a surprising host, Master. He has to consume Orma first, Syrax explained, gesturing toward the final pod. Ah. Kiyo watched Master move toward it with what appeared to be genuine interest. It is a fascinating process to observe, Syrax added, with the tone of someone reviewing a moderately successful experiment. Master picked up the last pod. This time, the crux came more carefully, as if they were exploring every piece it opened. The top also did not come off on its own. Master waited a bit, then lifted the lid and started drinking the liquid. It tasted like honey mixed with deep cave water. It also did not go down quickly. It was a slow, smooth journey down his throat, as if it wanted to see everything it encountered. When it eventually reached his stomach, nothing happened for a long time. Master was just about to relax when a pressure headache started to form. He groaned as the pressure increased, and then, like a window opening slowly, it subsided. A fourth presence settled into his mind's eye. Welcome, brother, Vhagar called. It is good to see you, and that you have not changed in all the time we were separated. Still analyzing everything. Vhagar. Syrax. Kiyo. The fourth entity responded. His attention moved slowly around the cavern, taking it in with the unhurried thoroughness of someone who intended to understand it completely. This seems like an interesting vessel we are in. Orma, Syrax said, meet our host. His name is Master Eitch. Orma nodded at Master. A pause, dry and brief. I suspect you will have questions for each other. Master felt a bit overwhelmed with all these entities around him. 4 presences. 4 ancient intelligences pressing against the walls of his mind like water against a cracked dam. He needed a structure. He always needed a structure. He remembered Professor James's advice to create a structure that works for him when he taught him to create his mental palace. While the entities communicated with each other, he was sitting against a stalagmite, his back aching, his tongue beginning to swell from dehydration. In his mind, he built a room with marble columns and views outside from his childhood mountains. He placed 5 Roman Senate-like chairs facing each other. He sat down in the middle chair and addressed the entities. Hey, Sidorons. They all looked at him. I am your host. Host means this is my house. My house, my rules. I am sure descendants of the evil bloodline know how to behave in someone else's house. Now, for me to interact with you, I invite you to search through my memories and create a humanoid image of yourself that is representative of you, and come and take a seat here in the council room I created for us. We need to talk about getting out of here. Time is running out, as I have about 48 to 72 hours left to function without water. And if your host dies, you die. Do you agree with me? They stared at him in silence. He could sense their calculations and resistance to speaking out loud. Kiyo was the first to respond. You lead with clarity and kindness, Master. That is rare. Yes! Orma followed her example. The logic is sound. The probability of survival increases exponentially with your cooperation as the primary agent. Yes, Master. Syrax smiled, a different smile, slower, as if she had just understood something. I have been saying as much since you ate me. Yes, Master, you are correct. And I want to add, your mother was a genius. Vhagar still held back. You will honor me by acknowledging me, Vhagar, said Master. Silence stretched for a few moments longer. Yes, it is the honorable thing to do. I do not yield to hosts, but I recognize a field commander when I see one. Do not misuse my trust, Master. I won't, said Master, and he meant it. Syrax, who had spent the most time with him, settled to his right. When her form took shape, he found himself looking at a woman in her 50s, thick black hair shot through with white, a dark purple gown with the kind of simple, deliberate elegance that cost more than it appeared to. She looked, he thought, like someone who had once decided the universe's aesthetic was insufficient and had quietly fixed it. Her eyes were a deep, intense blue that sparkled with something Master could not describe. Kiyo made him swallow. A turquoise silk dress flowed around her like air playing with flower petals. Her red hair framed her beautiful face with laughter wrinkles around her green eyes. She smiled approvingly when she noticed his reaction to her. She came to sit to his left, moving the chair slightly closer than it was. Almost sat next to Kiyo. He reminded Master of an Arabic scholar, dark hair, short, neatly trimmed beard, and the kind of calm, unhurried posture that suggested he had never once been in a hurry because he already knew how everything would unfold. He wore a simple white robe under an outer cloak, its edges traced with a fine geometric pattern in gold. His brown eyes, curious and observant, moved slowly around the arched ceiling Master had built for the council room, studying the way a man reads a map. Vhagar placed himself next to Syrax. He was taller than the rest, and he carried his lean, muscular frame the way men do when a body has been tested past its limits and found something harder on the other side. He wore a high-collar tunic, a military cut, bearing faint insignia along the left shoulder that Master did not yet know how to read. He sat with his hands folded into fists on his knees and looked directly at Master, waiting. For a moment, no one spoke. 5 chairs. 5 minds. 1 body. Before the silence could become awkward, Master smiled warmly. Officially welcome to my house. I have so many questions, but we have a bit of a time-sensitive challenge. How do we get out of here?